asɛm bi na mpɛ sɛ mbusa o na mehia sɛ wowɔ nkyerɛmu bi a na wakyerɛ mu yɛtumi ɛtɔn Ghana dwapadeɛ abra yɛmfɛ nkɔ parliament ana yɛtumi ma obi bɛfɛm Ghana biribi abra ɛnyɛ ana obi bɛyɛ ɔmampani a otumi atɔn Ghana dwapadeɛ bi a menti ase o na Ibrahim Traore a ɔwɔ Burkina Faso abranteɛ no mmɔden mmɔ ɛm sɛ wiase baabiara na obi apɛ n'asɛm na wɔtua anammɔn bi na anammɔn no mentii sɛ politicians no ka ho asɛm bo MPP ne NDC mentii sɛ ɔmo ka ho asɛm na wonim sɛ before sɛ your president kura ba so amanfoɔ kan sɛ habɔ hɔ no watɔn ɛno no wawante sɛ NDC ni bi ba abɔnten bɛ defendi sɛ da bi nte saa nneɛma bi kɔkɔ so wɔ ɔman wei mu a asɛ yɛadan so yɛnan gu abɔnten ɛyɛ ampa sɛ Burkina Faso president waba ɔman wei mu ama yɛ habɔ no yɛtwa baabi ama no a ɛbɛboa no ɛwɔ sɛ petrol ne nneɛma bi a ɛsɛ ɛkɔ Burkina no ɛyɛ saa ɔmɛkyɛ wɔ habɔ hɔ no because habɔ hɔ no aba bɛyɛ wɔ mo dia menti ase o ebia na wobɛtumi akyerɛ aseɛ yɛnkɔ ne yɛnkɔtie
Tema Hydrocarbon depot Burkina Faso
African country formally announced its acquisition of the Tema Multipurpose Terminal Hydrocarbon Depot in Ghana. The $70 million purchase wasn't just a headline, it was the culmination of a strategic vision years in the making. A vision that sought to free the country from its long-standing energy vulnerability and place it on a trajectory toward greater economic independence. But to understand why this moment was so significant, we need to trace the journey, a story filled with ambition, geopolitics, survival, and determination. Before we dive deeper into today's update, take a moment to Burkina Faso's reliance on hydrocarbons has always been precarious. With no coastline of its own, the country has depended on access to foreign ports, mainly in Ghana, Togo, and Côte d'Ivoire, to bring in essential petroleum products. These fuels are vital, not just for transportation, but for industrial operations, agriculture, and powering homes and businesses. According to the African Development Bank, biomass still accounts for an overwhelming 86% of the nation's energy consumption, primarily through wood and charcoal. But that reliance has come at a cost, making the country vulnerable to price fluctuations, regional instability, and the whims of third-party infrastructure owners. For years, the Burkinabe National Hydrocarbons Company, better known as SONAB, operated within these limitations, utilizing storage facilities located beyond its borders. The arrangement was fragile, especially as instability spread across the Sahel. Any disruption in supply chains could trigger fuel shortages back home, raising prices and stifling economic activity. In a region already dealing with security threats, political transitions, and underdeveloped infrastructure, this was a risk Burkina Faso could no longer afford to take. Then came a turning point. Following a coup in 2022, Captain Ibrahim Traore rose to power, ushering in a government determined to change the country's trajectory. Traore emphasized national sovereignty, infrastructure development, and self-reliance. That agenda, though ambitious, quickly translated into tangible action. One of the boldest examples came in January 2025, when the country inaugurated a massive 104,000 cubic meter storage depot in Penny, located in western Burkina Faso. That facility alone cost 32 billion FCF, about $53 million, and it was just the beginning. But while domestic infrastructure was important, the country's leadership recognized that true energy security required something more. They needed a foothold outside their borders, a strategic outpost. That's when the Tema Multipurpose Terminal entered the picture. Located in Ghana's bustling industrial hub of Tema, the TMPT is a fully operational hydrocarbon depot, Previously owned by Blue Ocean Investment Limited, a leading player in petroleum distribution across West Africa, the terminal lies just 600 kilometers from Burkina Faso's capital, Ouagadougou. It's close enough for logistical convenience, but more importantly, it sits on the Atlantic coast, giving Burkina Faso direct access to the global petroleum trade. This was not just any terminal. The TMPT has the infrastructure to receive ocean tankers, store large volumes of gasoline and diesel, and distribute them through a well-established trucking network. Sonabi already used the facility in the past, which meant the company was familiar with its operations. But renting was no longer good enough. Ownership became the goal. After months of behind-the-scenes negotiations, on March 5th, 2025, the deal was made official. The $70 million acquisition was announced during a Council of Ministers meeting in Ouagadougou, chaired by none other than Captain Ibrahim Traore. The deal was widely covered by local and international media, including APA News, Africa News Agency, and Burkina Faso's state-owned Sidwaya. In their announcement, the Burkinabe government didn't mince words. It is imperative to have at least one depot outside Burkina Faso to ensure energy security, they declared. With the TMPT now under Sonabi's control, the nation had a critical node in the regional petroleum supply chain, one that they could manage on their own terms, without third-party interference. The implications of this acquisition are profound. First, it strengthens energy security in a tangible way. In a region where fuel supply chains can be fragile, having direct control over a coastal depot provides a buffer against market volatility and logistical disruptions. It means fewer delays, more predictability, and ultimately, better fuel availability across the country. The recent acquisition of the Tema Multipurpose Terminal, TMPT, by Burkina Faso represents a major leap in the country's energy security strategy. Though the government has not disclosed TMPT's precise capacity, its designation as a multi-purpose facility suggests both scale and flexibility. Paired with the newly established storage depot in Peigny, Burkina Faso.
Botaya epese wuti ewo muni na ya sembusa. What in wasem? Na mibusa se bibi koso se enfe nko Parliament mamo enjunjunu ho ansa. Oh, say Ibrahim Traore was smart. Ni nyina ne se pese ono ombekra niema a efa petroleum ho na aba habo na fei ontimi why smart say afi momfa hamami na eba na meniema ba eno ane se yede eko we ni ade a na nakwan bedi akon ehu ni se water transportation and kobeya mana ko the other nations okan ye momuni akum hwe aniswadi huna na nakwan bedi akon owo ohun se Ibrahim Traore so aya smart say eponani krom okra ne masade ni anu a ebefa posu na aba Ghana for the yeska and odi 7 billion na we nwa 7 no wati so ye MPP ni oye NDC ni masembusa no se eye ebebo o my Ghana ehu bebe mfaso amaye eni asembusa bi daachi Ghana dia tonwa totonwa da bi yempo dia nya tonwa omu se Burkina Faso show wo ba ye nchari yo be hwe eniema branch ye nwanwa enti yensu yentimi nya bi yentimi nya bi na ye niema na wo habo mu de se eniema no be begu Ibrahim Traore hodmo a monkosisa nankambe hu monkosisa ebegu hodmo a monkosisa se mode munim ye na MPP di ahye NDC na NDC di ahye Monko fa asɛm bi amrɛ yɛn yo. Monko fa asɛm bi amrɛ. Na ɔmo kɔbɔki na ɔno a ɔmo twam fa kumase ase ansa na ɔmo akɔ. Ensɛm ne bi wɔ Ghana. Hwɛ mo na mo gye akasakasa no. MPP ne NDC mo na mo gye akasakasa. Ye mu bi na ye mpɛ kasa saa o. Mo an mo gye akasakasa saa. Ana ye kan no ntum nso a ba bi ekɔ no. Enye ye. Enye ye. Enti mo tena ho because emre bi ayi or they say abronye yi akoro yi na chese den ena ayi jomama aton habo okay wan tisu ho asem so bia bim na ye fun na we am said Ibrahim MPP fonti yo asem MPP fonti yo minority leader no onti ye ana we de omu nyina agi atum say ye dia ye ne ati akire ni ho asem ko mu na mo bombo ana munim ye se we da go na be boy na me ti ayi agrofra na chi de na mo ka ye ne ye ka de be ka ne se amfa yi akwena nka so de ntiri bobol en de be ka anu de ye be ka ti mamu nya se oman no e de timi hye mo nsa na mo ye de mo pe o se ye de a why not na se ayese mo bo oman na mane nso a ada na mo ya mane abazi practical sembi da eto makoma super o se ye nton Ghana ma MPP ni NDC o se mamu mfa hye mo adwen mu sa se ye nton oman ne mamu na niema bi wo hodo mo a na madwen am se tumi wo mo nsam a ebeduru ba bia no na tumi no a ye de ma wo a wan fa nya de ebeboa wo man no obefi tumi no anu bi na si wo Gabona ono wo di sika no wan fere obi a omo chi no ko hwe dan mo de a wo si ayi the whole world ye monpa man besemo ye betumi amo my Ghana yakuanim enti amanyofo no bede se me kasa ya MPP ni andi amanyofo no monwene adepa mo bayi a ebe mati mamufo no ye ho atoye bibi kakra bi ne yepo so ko na akotofu ara na abba baabi a won so betimi ato kakra gum ye masku sem ejom koni akonhomabo se niema ya den menkrofo ana na ya twese mo betimi ago niema mu already sure my Ghana is it the omama obi a ompe kasa kura bi akasa omoji akasa container boy habo boy ai enconsider ben mo anehwe ne tie bye bye.